morning, and welcome to the Wichita State University Weekly Briefing for July 19, 2018. I'm Tracy Freese, and I'm the Director of Communication for Research and Tech Transfer. I'm a new face in the weekly briefings, but not a new face at Wichita State. I've been here for 13 years, working with entities such as the National Institute for Aviation Research, the Office of Research, Innovation Campus, Go Create, WSU Ventures, and Innovar, to name a few. Like I said, I'm a new face, but if everything goes okay today, you can expect to see me back on a regular basis, rotating with Zach Gearhart. So today I'll present a few updates, followed by an exciting announcement from Alex Sternfield-Dunn, Director of the School of Music. Then we'll conclude with some questions. So we'll go ahead and get started. President Bardo has been asked to testify for the second time this year before the Congressional Committee on Education and Workforce. In late July, he'll speak about Wichita State's integrated approach that focuses the mission and direction of the university to have maximum impact on students' education, the region's competitiveness, and our global positioning for the future. Wichita State recognizes the speed of change in higher education is accelerating. Various technologies are driving not only new products and processes, but even how we organize our economy and how we operate as a city, region, state, and nation. Wichita State is focused on addressing the emerging needs of our region with regard to economic innovation, entrepreneurship, and we're honored to be asked to speak about our initiatives before Congress for the second time this year. John Tomlin, Vice President for Research and Tech Transfer and NIAR Executive Director, and Andy Schlapp, Chief of Staff and NIAR Director of Business Development, were invited by U.S. Senator Jerry Moran's office to attend the Farnborough International Air Show in order to highlight key resources available through WSU, NIAR, and the Wichita community to an international audience. So that's where they're at right now. At the show, Wichita State has a large visual presence within the Greater Wichita Partnership and the Dassault Systems Chalets. That presence is focusing on the 3D Experience Center, which is a partnership with Dassault Systems here on campus, and that is housed in the Experiential Engineering Building. Moran's team, while at Farnborough, Moran's team is hosting various meetings focused on modernizing Navy and Air Force readiness through sustainment, which is an effort that Wichita State can support through NIAR laboratories and through the expertise of faculty and staff at WSU. As always, we are doing more campus improvements. Changes are underway that will affect motor vehicle and pedestrian traffic on campus. Improvements include an emphasis on increased visibility at all crosswalks, which will be repainted with reflecting paint. We'll also be adding 3 new crosswalks in areas of high pedestrian traffic. Some street names are also changing, and there will be new street signs that should be installed by the end of next week. The street names and new signage will benefit visitors to campus and personnel who come to campus to assist with medical situations or other emergencies. One change that will affect traffic flow will be a directional change in and out of the parking lot west of the University Police Building. The shuttle bus loop that runs in and out of campus will continue with the same route. On expanding educational opportunities, Wonder, a private school for children aged 3 to 11, will open with 38 students on September 11th in the former printing building on campus. We're excited that 3 of the full-time guides, traditionally known as teachers, are WSU students or graduates. Wonder is planning a community open house. We just don't have details on it right now. We'll get those as soon as they are available. Wonder's goal is to challenge children to use critical thinking, creation, collaboration, and innovation in their education. This concept for an experience-based learning environment is consistent with what we're creating across the university. Because of Wonder's learner-driven, innovative philosophy, we believe it's a good match for Wichita State. While we understand the interest in Wonder, we think it's important to emphasize that it's part of a much broader push by Wichita State to expand K-12 educational outreach opportunities in the areas of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, also known as STEAM. This summer, the College of Applied Studies partnered with USD 259 to host summer camps, which were well attended. WSU continues to have an interest in partnering with public schools for locations on or near campus with an emphasis in STEAM. And our final update is about the Fuse. We're excited to highlight the Fuse, which was formerly known as Linked. It's an initiative of the College of Applied Studies that works to connect students with the surrounding Wichita community. The Fuse is committed to leading the charge for a purpose-driven educational experience through outreach and service. While it's a relatively new group, they've already had several community outreach initiatives. In the past year, they've worked alongside the College of Applied Studies, Shocker Support Locker, and Student Government Association to provide over 650 pounds of personal care items for those in need. They formed a partnership with Wichita West High School for a school supplies drive this June, and they held a 2-week leadership and research camp in partnership with Gear Up. During the camp, students had the chance to conduct STEAM-related research projects and interacted with multiple campus departments, providing them with an impactful learning opportunity. We believe that the work that this group, led by Director Bobby Berry, is doing will have an important impact in the Wichita community. Now we'd like to share with you an exciting announcement from the College of Fine Arts. Dr. Alex Sternfeld-Dunn will be speaking about it, but first we will play a short video.
Ready to go?
Always.
I'm Alex Sternfeld-Dunn. I'm the director of the School of Music.
And I'm Dr. Timothy Shade, and I am the director of bands.
And we are coming to you today to make a very big announcement. So Tim, what's our big news?
The big news is that starting this fall at some point, we're going to have a marching ensemble present at basketball games and other campus events.
What is this band going to be called?
It's going to be called Shocker Sound Machine, a direct offshoot of our basketball band, Shocker Sound. A high energy, high octane, fast moving, just adrenaline-filled ensemble. 3 to 7 minutes of just you can't relax. That's what it's going to be. We're going to move fast. We're going to play lots of notes. We're going to play loud, higher, faster, louder, the brass player way. Energy, excitement. Any of those buzzwords, find it. That's what we're going for. So new arrangements, new drill writing, new concepts of looks and moves and excitement.
So something that comes from a marching tradition but is a whole new ballgame.
Absolutely. Respecting the past, moving forward.
I love it. Hi everyone, I'm Alex Sternfeld-Dunn. I'm the director of the School of Music, and I'm very happy to announce today that this fall we are going to be launching a new marching band at Wichita State University. You should know that we in the School of Music estimate that we probably lose 20 to 30 students a year who don't even apply to WSU because we don't have a marching band. In fact, we have literally been at music conferences with booths set up and had students walk up and say, "Tell me about your marching band," and we go, "Well, we don't have one," and they turn around and leave. So this has been a need in our school for a long time, so much so that 5 years ago when we were going through the strategic planning process in our school, we put it as a point on there that we needed to have this. And we couldn't figure out the mechanism to do it without a football team. And we don't think that's happening anytime soon. This last year, we hired a new director of bands, Tim Shade, who you saw in the video. And he saw the same problem that we did. We were losing kids who weren't even looking at us because we didn't have this component. So he brought a proposal to the previous director of the school, myself, and the dean, the Shocker Sound Machine. And we liked it. We thought it was a great idea. So we thought, well, let's talk to athletics, see if they're interested in this. And so we met with athletics, and they said, we love it. Let's go talk to the president. So we scheduled a meeting with the president, and we presented a version of the Shocker Sound Machine that was sort of your bare bones, we could do this on a shoestring budget, here's how we would do it. And the president listened and was excited, and he said, I want you to come back with a real budget of how to do this right. I said, okay. So we went back, worked down some numbers, met with the provost, the president, the vice president of finance, and said, here's what we need. We need a new half-time position to be an assistant director of bands to run this program. We need one more GTA a graduate assistant, and we also need to take one of our half-time graduate assistants and we need to increase it to a full-time graduate assistant. We also need finances to buy uniforms and instruments and PA systems and tarps and all these things you don't think about. And the president and the provost said, okay, let us put our heads together. And they did, and they found the resources. So we're launching this thing this fall with the greatest impact we can have. We'll be getting all new uniforms from Fruhoff Uniforms, which is a local Wichita-based company. We're going to be buying 100 instruments and drumline from a company called System Blue that designs instruments and equipment for the Concord Blue Devils, a Drum Corps International band. We're going to hopefully have 100 students participating in the group this year. That's our goal, our soft goal for this year. So the first question you should be asking yourself is, we still don't have a marching band, or a football team, how do we have a marching band? How is this gonna work? So if you are familiar with something called DCI, or Drum Corps International, one of the things they will do in the winter time is sort of like a winter guard, which takes place in a multi-use room of a school or on a basketball court. So this marching band, Shocker Sound Machine, will be present at our basketball games during the halftime, doing a halftime show there. I want to make clear, though, that this is not replacing Shocker Sound, the pet band that you guys all know and love, and I love. In fact, I've even been able to sit in a couple times and play with them. So the way Shocker Sound works now is, because of NCAA rules and because of space, we have 30 kids who are in the stands every basketball game. But the band itself actually has about 50 to 60 kids, and they rotate in for different games. Shocker Sound Machine is going to be an augmentation of that existing program. Like I said, we're hoping to have 100 kids. We cannot fit 100 kids onto a basketball court. So what they will do is they will also rotate in for different games. The growing size of this group means a couple of things that I'm really excited about. First, it means a bigger presence in the athletic scene. So you're going to see Shocker Sound at volleyball games now, men's and women's basketball. And you'll see Shocker Sound Machine. This year, I think we're planning on 4 men's games and 4 women's games to sort of be a soft launch. This year, it will exist as it currently does, Shocker Sound as an extracurricular activity. But importantly, next year, it will become a course that you register for in the fall and spring, a 1-credit class. And I want to point out, this is really important for a couple of reasons. There's the sort of community aspect of this, but there's also the aspect of our music education students who are going to be going out and teaching in the public school systems, who up until now, unless they did it in high school, were getting no marching experience while they were here at Wichita State. We want to give them an applied learning experience where they're going to be a part of this band, and it's going to show up on their transcript. So when they're applying for jobs at other places, their principals can see, oh, this person not only took the marching band techniques course, but they've been in a group. I know that they're a really exciting and different, contemporary, innovative group. I want that kid working in my school so they can do that to our high school or middle school, what they were a part of at Wichita State. So it's going to be, this is not going to be your grandmother's marching band. As the way I like to describe it, if you've ever seen a marching band on a football field, let's just pretend, they make big shapes, they go from like a Jayhawk to the USS Enterprise. And they're moving really, really fast. But because they have so much space to cover, like going from a square to a triangle looks like this. And eventually they get there. But if you watch their feet, that's, well, a basketball court is so much smaller. What that means is it's going to be really high energy, really fast moving, a lot of entertainment and fun to watch. You're going to see us at sports events. You're going to see us around the university. You're going to see the School of Music in general engage with all sorts of events around the university and in the community. When I mentioned this to the first group of our music donors, one of our alumni, who used to be the drum major when we had a marching band back in the 80s, said, when they canceled football, I said, that's fine, but please don't cancel the marching band. So we're bringing it back. We hope that people are going to be excited and want to be a part of this. We hope that those alumni in both the athletics world and the music world, if you feel excited about this, we do have a fund in the foundation That's going to be an endowed fund that's going to help us with some of the long-term costs as we need to buy more uniforms as instruments fall into disrepair. So there's places to be involved in that. If you want to learn more about Shocker Sound Machine and Shocker Sound, I would point you to our new website, wichita.edu/bands. Has quite a bit of information about Shocker Sound. And tomorrow at 12 o'clock, if you go to the Wichita State University School of Music Facebook page, Dr. Tim Shade and I will be doing a Facebook Live event where we'll be answering questions and telling you more about the program. So at this time, I'm happy to take any questions that anyone might have. Yeah. You mean how much money did the president's office invest? Yeah. The provost put together the resources for us to do a half-time position with benefits, so that is roughly, the salary is $20,000 to $25,000 and benefits on top of that. And then our graduate assistantships, I can't remember the exact number, but it's a couple of $1,000s that we needed. I think it's about $10,000 to augment that. And then new instruments, uniforms, all the equipment is roughly $200,000 to $250,000. And that came from some emergency contingency funds that were being held over in the president's office and in the vice president of research. And so one time, flat, this is what you guys get. They're not planning to continually fund that and support that long term. That's why we're looking at donors as a possibility. Yes? Are the marching band uniforms going to look like the one that we know? So yes, you'll remember that President Bardo tweeted out a picture a couple of years ago of a possible football helmet and a possible marching band uniform. I like that uniform a lot. That's not what this is. So the uniforms are going to be very different. Hopefully later today we'll have a mock-up that we're going to put on the Facebook page of our school so you can see it. It's going to be pretty different and not your traditional marching band uniform. So it's really loud is the way I like to describe it. So no, this will, in no way will this look like the traditional KU K-State marching band that we're familiar with. I think the best model that you might look at is a group called Blast, which is part of DCI. So it's a little more dance-based and contemporary. Yes?
What do scholarship opportunities look like for students that are part of this?
Yeah, good question. So scholarship opportunities. The way Shocker Sound has worked in the past is we have given stipends to our students. That's a small stipend. We've paid them per game. So every game they play, they get like $20 or $30. This year, that model probably won't change very much. We realize, though, that making it a class is going to have some new financial constraints for students. So what we're looking at doing is a model for academic year 2019-20, where we're going to hopefully be able to scholarship 100 students. Some of them will get scholarships that will pay for the full credit. Some will get some that will be partially funding that credit enrollment. But we're hoping to scholarship, and by the way, I should mention that those scholarships are eligible to both music majors and non-majors. As important as this is going to be for our School of Music, it's equally as important for non-majors to be a part of this. Yes?
Sort of the audition process for getting this money.
Yeah. Auditions will be held in the beginning of fall. We are making this, like I said, open to majors and non-majors, and the audition really is not to exclude people from participating. We want as many people in this group as possible. So the audition will include a small playing example and some movement examples. But I also want to stress that this is going to be accessible to those people who may have physical limitations. If you are that person, we will find a place for you. So we want everyone to be a part of this.
When's the first time the public will actually see this group perform?
I don't know. The first time we are hoping for the band to be revealed, it will be a basketball game sometime in fall, so around December. One of the obstacles we are running into that we didn't plan on was these companies that make these instruments don't have an entire marching band's worth of stuff sitting in a warehouse. They have to build all of this stuff from scratch. So we're going through the traditional bid process because this is a state university that has to go through a state bidding process. We're in that process right now, but a couple of the companies that we're looking at are saying it's going to be almost October till we can even get the instruments here. So my guess, we haven't picked an exact game yet. We're working that out with athletics, but it'll be sometime in December. We're hoping to have a preview of the band sometime in September at a School of Music event, sorry, not September, October. But we're still working those details out. We'll know more once we know who's participating and when we're going to get instruments. Yes?
Is the School of Music going to actively go out to the high schools and recruit for this program?
Yes, so the School of Music actively recruits already in the high schools for involvement in our own programs as it is. And so there's no reason that that's not going to change, but this will be a new component that we're going to be able to put in front of those potential students. Again, majors and non-majors. We're really hoping to create a community throughout the university. But I would say, as the university has talked about recruiting efforts, one of the things that I've always pointed to is that the School of Music has always, I think, done it right, which is we are regularly out in the public school systems working with high school teachers, trying to give them our background and expertise to help those students, and that will continue the way that it always has. But yeah, it's going to be a new thing that we'll be able to say, this is one more way that you can be involved. Yes?
As a recruiting tool, projecting into the future, how would you expect this to affect enrollment and bringing students in?
So how will enrollment be affected within the School of Music? It's hard to say. My hope, my metric was within the next 5 years, I'd like to see an increase in, so the band will be made up of brass instruments, percussion instruments, and saxophones, which is the same instrumentation as Shocker Sound. So it's an augmented version of that. So we're going to be looking at specific metrics towards those areas within the School of Music. My goal is in the next 5 years, I'd like to see an increase of 30 to 50 new majors. That's a sort of an aspirational goal, but that's what I'm shooting for. What I would really like to see, what it was almost more important to me, is the participation of non-majors in our ensembles. And I don't know what that number is going to look like, but that's critical to me, that we are a part of this university as a whole, and that students from engineering and the College of Applied Learning or Applied Studies, business, all of them feel welcome to be a part of what's happening in the School of Music. We already have non-major ensembles, and we do have non-majors involved in that, but I'd love it if, we have 15,000 students. I'd love it if 5,000 students were participating in a music program, whether it's Shocker Sound Machine or our choirs. I don't care. So, yes.
Piggybacking on Stephen's question real quick, you said 200 to 250,000 for the uniforms. What's the total budget investment in this program?
Total investment, new investment? I think it's around $320,000. We already get, as we have historically from athletics, around $80,000 a year, which has paid for those stipends for our students. It's paid for some uniforms like polo shirts, and it has also paid for 2 full-time GTAs that we have. Athletics has agreed that they're not going to take that away. That will continue infinitum. So let's just pretend for a second that the Shocker Sound machine just blows up and no one is really interested. We'll figure that out, but athletics is not going to take that support that they've given us away. Other questions? I got all day, so. All right, well then I'm going to turn it back.
Are there additional questions on any of the other topics we covered today or anything else? Yes?
In regards to the one you said 38 students, do you know how that compares to the expected capacity with this school, where that is like the maximum or if that was short?
I don't have that information. I believe when we initially announced Wonder, that number is consistent with what we announced, or with what Wonder announced. Yes?
What's the age range of those students so far that have been really?
Right now, they're focusing on ages 3 to 11. Yes?
Is there any update on any collaborations between Wichita's education programs and Wichita State's education programs and the Wonder School? Teaching programs?
Collaborations between Wichita State and Wonder School. As far as I know, they are looking at students as their guides or teachers in some capacities. Other than that, that question would have to be directed to the School of Applied Studies. And we can get that information if you need it. Yes?
Following up on that, the school is not going to be accredited based on its new innovative thing. So we hired for some teachers to work there. At least that's what I remember hearing in the original.
I don't have information on that. We'll have to follow up. And actually, that's probably a question for Wonder, but we can get that information. Yes?
Where are these new crosswalks?
Where are the new crosswalks? I do have that information. There will be a diagonal crosswalk from the parking lots leading to Alberg Hall that will be removed and replaced with perpendicular crosswalks. Then a crosswalk, yeah, all right. And then another crosswalk with curb cuts will be installed between Devlin and Hubbard Halls.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Devlin and Hubbard Halls.
And the new street names, are these new street names, or what are those going to be?
There are new street names. We can follow up with that. We do have all of that.
Do you have the names?
Yes.
Can't announce them?
We can. I don't have all of them listed here. I don't want to get anything wrong. Yeah. We have them, absolutely. Any other questions? Okay, that concludes today's briefing. As always, we want to remind you that all initiatives and programs at Wichita State are always tied to WSU's vision to be an internationally recognized for applied learning and research, and our mission to be an essential educational, cultural, and economic driver for Kansas and the greater public. Thank you for attending.